This is the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial endowment expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping our show on June the 3rd, 2016. Our time is 8:40 Mountain. Radio show runs on 6:30 CHED in Edmonton, Sunday afternoon at 3. We have a podcast through iTunes. Type in the World Financial Report on Radio. You'll find us there. We also have the shows streaming on Harold's two websites, rarecoloreddiamonds.com and HESradio.com. There for you 24/7. We're also on TuneIn Radio and YouTube as well. Connect with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022. Our featured diamond of the week, and I love heart-shaped diamonds. It is a .76 carat hard-cut fancy intense pink argyle diamond. We'll talk more about that diamond in the second half of the show. You can see it, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, featured diamond of the week. Coming up in the second half of the show, the Aurora Green. We have been speaking about it. Yes, I know you want to know how much it sold for. We'll tell you in the second half of the show. Also, coming up, we have info on the Cullinan Dream, which is a blue diamond. That will sell on June the 9th, next Thursday. We have auction results from Sotheby's Geneva, May 17th. Very strong results. And that will be coming up in the second half of the show. Jobs numbers, and Harold just mentioned this to me, the fewest jobs added in the United States in 6 years. They added 38,000 jobs, the unemployment rate 4.7%. Now, what does that mean for a rate increase in the United States? There have been a lot of jawing by Fed members that they may raise rates in June, possibly July. Now, with this very poor number, will they raise rates? We'll have to wait and see. The odds were 35% at the beginning of the week. They're down to 22% right now. But Harold, we saw that jobs number come out, and it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at all. It was a poor number. And then we saw, obviously, the U.S. dollar go down. Canadian dollar did strengthen. We saw gold and silver spike. We had oil go up a little bit. And a lot of it is just on this jobs number, but really it's a short-term phenomenon. In the long term, we still stick to our thesis that the U.S. dollar will appreciate in value.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Again, the U.S. dollar is the reserve currency, and the U.S. dollar is still, and the U.S. economy, even though the job numbers this week were horrendous, still the best economy in the world at this point here. So the other thing, when I say it's the best economy in the world, a lot of it is smoke and mirrors. There's no doubt that the U.S. economy is such a huge economy that it takes a lot of work to keep this facade up. And basically it takes a lot of printing of money, and that's one thing that the United States can do that other countries can't, is print that kind of money. So this week, gold was dropping like it has been for the last few weeks, and gold got all the way down to pretty close to $1,200 this week. However, there's support at $1,200, so the market was having a little problem breaking below $1,200. There was not a lot of fresh news in the market until today, when the job numbers came out, and they were so pathetic that gold went up $30 in 5 minutes. That just shows you the speculation that goes on in the gold market. We don't do that. We don't profess to want to do that. It's what I used to do as a living for, almost 25 years. But again, it's just way too risky to trade in these markets based on, numbers coming out for a day or two. So what did happen today was that gold is back up to $1,230. But again, we're in a pretty broad range. I think that the low potential for gold is $1,000. I think the highest that we could go to over the short term is $1,380. Now, we did hit 13 and change a few weeks ago, got back down to $1,200 this week, and now we're trading right now at about $1,240. Again, with the news that came out today that the job numbers were horrible, that means, to me at least, that there's no way that the Fed is going to raise interest rates in June. And they probably won't raise them in July. So we're going to see for the next 2 months sideward markets in gold and in currencies. Nothing much is going to happen realistically over the next couple months. There's an excellent chance that they'll do it in August or September. And again, depending on how the job numbers do and other things, we'll see what the currency markets do. But at this particular point, the U.S. dollar got up this week to 96 cents. It's trading right now between 95 and 96.5. It's in a very narrow range. All the markets are in a fairly narrow range. Oil is down 50 cents today at 48.68. It did hit $50 this week, but again, there's no bullish news. In actual fact, the news for oil this week was extremely bearish because at the OPEC meeting, they refused to cut oil production. So oil should have dropped extremely heavily. But again, at this particular point, it ended up almost even on the day. So what I see for the summer, and the summer is normally a quiet time. You don't see a lot of major moves coming in the summer because in a lot of cases, the traders in New York are off on vacation. You know, they work during the week, but on Fridays they take off early and go out to the Hamptons, and, you know, that's just the way that it is. So the summer is always the slowest month. And basically, we don't see a lot happening again this summer. We do see gold continue to trade into a range, but we do feel that when the U.S. dollar continues to strengthen, which I believe the U.S. dollar will become the strongest currency probably sometime before the end of the year, that should push gold down to around $1,000. So, again, at this point, Randy, the numbers that are coming out, you really can't put an awful lot of credence in it because, you know, we may have seen the unemployment numbers come down to 4.7%, which is truly a bogus number. Based on the fact that only 61% of the people are working. So it's not like everybody's working and we've got a 4 or 5% unemployment rate. It's nothing like that. Only 60% of the people are working, which is actually horrendous. So when I say that the U.S. economy, you know, is doing better than other countries, it's true. In Europe, they're in horrible position financially. We've known that for years now. Unfortunately, with the low prices of oil and the Canadian dollar falling and now the fires in Fort McMurray and what's happening all throughout Canada, you know, aside from the real estate market, things are tough in Canada. They're tough in Australia. They're tough pretty well everywhere in the world at this particular point. So right now, I would continue. Any rallies in the gold market for those that are aggressive traders, I think the gold could rally Monday and Tuesday a bit, get back up to around the 1250, 1260 range. Then I see gold falling back off as the U.S. dollar continues to strengthen. So again, at this particular point, Randy, we should see the markets continue to trade in a fairly tight range for most of the summer unless something breaks out that's going to change that. But at this particular point, fairly narrow range in gold, silver, oil, currencies, and that should continue till around August.
1-800-432-1022. Connect with Harold and speak with him about investing in hard assets, the programs that he has in place to help you make more money than you would if your cash was just sitting in a money market or GIC account. Now, connect with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022. Coming up later in the show, the second half of the show, we'll talk about the Aurora Green. How much did it sell for? We will tell you. Some records were broken. Also, the Cullinan Dream is going to be sold next week. We have auction results from Sotheby's Geneva, May 17th, that will impress you. And our featured diamond of the week is a .76 carat hard-cut, fancy, intense pink argyle. See it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, featured diamond of the week. And we also want to mention that there was a handbag that sold for a record price, a watch that sold for a record price, and a watch that belonged to Marilyn Monroe. And Marilyn Monroe would have been 90 years old this week. The icon obviously passed away, and her watch is going up for auction. We'll talk about that a little later in the show. Connect with Harold. His website, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. One of the stories that caught my attention this week, and this really goes for us as well in Canada, not just for those that are in the United States. Guess how many people over 55 have zero retirement savings? According to a recent survey by Go Bank Rates, about 30% of those over 55 admit to having no retirement savings whatsoever. Meanwhile, 26% report having balances of less than $50,000, which is far behind where the average person in the age group should be. And while the study confirms that Americans on the whole are falling and failing to save adequately, it's older Americans without savings who have much more to worry about. Without independent savings, many older Americans will be forced to rely solely on Social Security income during retirement. The problem there is that Social Security is only designed to replace 40% of the average American's pre-retirement income. Most of the United States will need anywhere from 70 to 80% of their pre-retirement income once they retire. And some may even need more, especially those with medical conditions requiring costly care. Failing to save for retirement now means running the risk of not having enough money to live on once you're no longer working. And that is a very scary prospect. One of the things that I did want to do is look on the Canada Pension website and find out how much they say Canada Pension would replace of our retirement income, of the income that we would have. And they say the CPP in Canada is designed to replace about 25% of your average pre-retirement employment earnings. Up to a maximum amount is one part of your retirement plan. The other component, of course, is retirement income, including the old age security pension, employer pension plans, and personal savings and investments. So there you have it. Here in Canada, CPP saying they're going to replace about 25%. In the United States, obviously a dire situation. I suspect here in Canada, a lot of people are in the same boat. And Harold, that's why we've said to many of our radio listeners, now is the time to sit down with you, speak to you on the phone, connect with you at 1-800-432-1022 or rarecolorediamonds.com and find out some of the different programs that you have. Everyone is sitting in GICs here in Canada, cash deposits in the United States. They're getting 1% or less using the rule of 72. It would take 72 years for your money to double. You will not be able to retire. And of course, they want to push us into the stock market, but you have a plan. You have other plans where people can make money, and all they need to do is connect with you.
You bet, Randy. It's very, very difficult to make money in today's marketplace. Again, as you just mentioned, the stock market, 90% of the people that trade stocks lose their money. 90% of people that trade commodities lose their money. So why would we want to trade those markets? The fact is that I've been in this business pretty well 35 years and have traded these markets for that period of time. And again, in most cases, I don't participate in heavily leveraged markets. So I would never recommend that to my clients. I'm extremely conservative, but my clients have done very well with me over the years. Don't forget, back 16 years ago, we were the ones on HED Radio that told everybody to sell their stocks and buy gold at $250. $250 gold went all the way up to $1,900. We also recommended silver at $3.80. It went all the way to $50. So we may be conservative. We don't leverage our positions, but we do pick trends in the markets that have been substantial and have done extremely well for our clients. We're in the alternative asset business. We don't trade stocks. We don't trade mutual funds. We don't trade bonds. We trade alternatives to those markets. And those markets are not doing well. So our alternative asset business is doing extremely well. I've been in business 35 years. In the diamond business, in the commodity business, and assets like that. My clients are making over 25% a year. We're in a private investment that deals with rough diamonds, that is not risky, but the returns are extremely high, and this is exclusive for our Canadian clients. So if you are not doing well, if you're in the stock market and concerned, and you should be, my recommendation is to be on the sidelines. Those markets are very iffy and risky right now. To put your money in the bank makes absolutely no sense today because we're getting less than 1%, and the banks are not overly stable. We don't trust them in any way with the bail-ins and the fact that they've stolen money in the past and what happened in Cyprus a few years ago. Those are not options at this point. But you do have options. So, again, if you're interested in making money, give me a call, and I'll explain our programs to you. So for our Canadian clients, all of our investments are based in U.S. dollars, and because we anticipate that the U.S. dollar will continue to be a strong currency, that is another form of income for our clients. So not only is our businesses doing well, that are returning over 25% a year to our clients, but it's in U.S. dollars, and our clients are picking up another 30% just based on the currency. So, again, if you're not doing well in the markets, if your retirement savings plans are doing poorly, and from what I know, 90% of Canadians in the last 10 years have not made any money to speak of in their retirement savings plans. And now that the markets look very risky and iffy, it's time for a change. We deal in the alternative asset market. Our clients do better than most. And again, our clients are making over 25% a year. If that's of interest to you, give us a call and we'll explain what we're doing and see if it's suitable for you. But again, at this point, stay out of the stock market, stay out of the bond market. Don't trade commodities and currencies if you don't know what you're doing, because, again, in all of those markets, 90% of the people lose, and that's just not acceptable. So, again, at this point, give us a call. We'd love to tell you what we're doing successfully at our companies.
1-800-432-1022. 1-800-432-1022. The call is free. Anything discussed is confidential. Herod's website is rarecoloreddiamonds.com. rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. Our featured diamond of the week is a .76 carat hard-cut fancy intense pink argyle. See it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, featured diamond of the week. One of the things that we've talked about in the past is bail-ins. And David Chapman, a Canadian, did an outstanding article this week, and you can find it in our free weekly newsletter. Get that free weekly newsletter from Herald. We send it out via email every week, free of charge to you. It's the companion to our radio show. If you'd like to receive it, 1-800-432-1022 to get your name on the list, or connect with us at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Now, David Chapman said the bail-in, or how you could lose your money in the bank, buried in the Canadian Liberal federal budget that was introduced on March 22nd, 2016, under Chapter 8, Tax Fairness and a Strong Financial Sector, was a section titled Introducing a Bank Recapitalization Bail-in Regime. Simply stated, in the unlikely event of a large bank failure, the government would propose it would reinforce the bank shareholders and creditors are responsible for the bank's risks, not taxpayers. What that means is that shareholders, bondholders, and depositors, rather than taxpayers, are responsible for the bank's risks in the event of a failure. During the 2008 global financial crash, banks were deemed too big to fail, were bailed out by the government, meaning the taxpayer footed the bill. None of the banks were Canadian banks. But it does need to be noted that Canadian banks received some $114 billion from the Canadian federal government. This was against the background of Canadian banks being declared the most sound banking system in the world. At that time, the government denied there was any bailout, preferring to use the term liquidity support. To put that amount in perspective, the $114 billion is roughly 77% of Canadian GDP. The 2016 budget notes that in implementing a bail-in regime, it will strengthen the bank resolution toolkit in Canada and ensure Canadian practices in banking are consistent with international best practices endorsed by the G20. Bail-in regimes are being instituted in the Western economies, especially in the EU, the United States, Japan, Australia, and of course now in Canada. This isn't the first time that a bail-in has been introduced, as the previous government came forward with one in 2013 and 14, presented as a consultation paper. Initially, it was thought that depositors would be excluded. Surprisingly, in the budget, depositors are not mentioned specifically. It should be noted, however, that depositors have paid a price in bail-ins that have already occurred in Cyprus and Italy. So the risk to depositors cannot be ignored. If you would like to read this full article, get it from us. Connect with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. And Harold, David Chapman has done an excellent job talking about bail-ins here in Canada, and it's something that we've seen overseas, and it's something that we should be aware of and have a mindset that we need an insurance policy in a portfolio. And that insurance policy, we believe, is tangible hard assets, whether it be diamonds, gold, and silver. You obviously have collectible cars, real estate. We'll talk about watches and handbags later in the show. But tangible physical assets that you have in your possession, because they may come in very valuable in a bail-in situation. And we have about 2 minutes left in the first segment here.
A bail-in situation is so frightening. In actual fact, banks have always been that way. Banks are the most impersonal corporations to deal with. They just don't care. Everything is just dollars and cents with them. So the fact that they've stolen money in the past, and that's a pretty broad statement, but it's true. We saw what happened with the bail-ins in Europe, and we saw what happens with the bail-in in Cyprus, and how they stole everybody's money, and nobody did anything about it. There was no riots. There was no nothing. All they did was accept it. And because all of the banks work off a similar model, don't think that wasn't just a trial to see how people are going to react when a similar situation happens here. In actual fact, something like that did happen to me and my company, probably about 25 years ago. I had dealt with a bank that had gone under, and I had more money in the bank that was insured, and I was very fortunate that a teller that I had worked with exclusively for a long time was able to help me. Otherwise, I would have lost several hundred thousands of dollars that the bank was actually planning on taking out of my account. So, again, I know that this happens because it happened to me, and it will happen again. We've got to be smart about it. You never, ever keep more money in the bank than you're insured for, and the banks will take your money any chance that they can do it because that's the type of companies they are. If you want to know about that and want to know how to protect yourself, call me. I'll explain it to you because, again, it's extremely important, especially when you run a business. You've got to keep more than a few $100,000 in the bank if you're running a business. But at that point, should you be worried every single day that the bank is going to go under and your company is going to be in trouble because they stole your money? There's ways to get around it. I can certainly explain it to you. Give me a call, and I'll spend as much time with you as you need.
Connect with Harold, 1-800-432-1022. 1-800-432-1022. RareColoredDiamonds.com is the website. Our featured diamond of the week, a 0.76 carat, hard-cut, fancy, intense pink argyle. We'll talk more about that diamond, also the Aurora Green, the Cullinan Dream, and we have auction results from Sotheby's. As the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall, continues right after this. Welcome back to the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping our show on June the 3rd, 2016. Our time is 9:05 Mountain. Radio show runs 6:30 CHED in Edmonton, Sunday afternoon at 3. If you ever miss a radio show, we have a podcast through iTunes. Type in The World Financial Report on Radio. You'll find us there. We also are archived on Harold's two websites, HESradio.com, RareColoredDiamonds.com, show streaming live 24/7. And don't forget about TuneIn, the app. We're on TuneIn, and we have our very own YouTube channel as well. You can listen to the show on YouTube. Connect with Harold at RareColoredDiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. Get your name on the list for our free weekly newsletter. You'll be on the same page that Harold and I are on when it comes to reviewing the material of the week and as you listen to the radio show. So get that free weekly newsletter. We send it out via email free of charge, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. And we know you're busy. We don't expect you to sit down and read 10 hours worth of material. That's why we put it together in a way you could go through it in 5-10 minutes at most on your smartphone, your iPad, your portable device. computer, whatever you have. You can go through it very, very quickly, or if you do want, you can spend a significant amount of time delving very deep within the newsletter. 1-800-432-1022, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Our featured diamond of the week is a .76 carat hard-cut, fancy, intense pink argyle. It's the featured diamond of the week. You can see it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. It is an absolute beauty. We talked about it, and now we have the results for you. As promised, the Aurora Green Diamond sold for a record-breaking $16.8 million. The 5.03 carat Aurora Green Diamond set 2 world auction records for a green diamond Tuesday at Christie's Hong Kong Magnificent Jewel Sale, selling for more than $16.8 million. The rectangular cut Fancy Vivid Green Diamond sold for more than $3.3 million per carat. The green diamond, with a VS2 clarity mounted in a gold ring surrounded by circular cut pink diamonds, was purchased by a Hong Kong-based company, one of the largest jewelry retailers in the world. The diamond shattered the previous records for a green diamond, which was set earlier this month for the Ocean Dream, a 5.5 carat Fancy Vivid blue-green diamond that sold for $8.6 million, $1.5 million per carat. The Aurora Green was the top lot of the sale and one of 4 lots that set world auction records. The sale totaled more than $85 million, with 10 lots exceeding more than $1 million. Colored diamonds did very, very well at the auction. But Harold, I know that you specialize in green diamonds. You're recommending them very hard now. And here we are. We have a record breaker today. Aurora Green, $16.8 million, $3.3 million per carat. Just an outstanding result.
You bet, Randy. I'm just so pleased with that. And again, this is just another example of another trend. When I mentioned earlier in the show that 16 years ago on CHED Radio, we recommended that our clients sell their stocks and buy gold at $250. Many people thought we were crazy for getting back into the gold market at that time. Obviously, the market went to 1900 and clients made a fortune in that market. So we knew what we were talking about. We've gotten many trends over the years. 10 years ago, a blue Vivid diamond sold for $200,000 a carat. The last 4 Vivid blue diamonds that sold for $4 million a carat. From $200,000 to $4 million a carat on these important blue diamonds has happened over the last 10 years. There's no market in existence that has made the type of moves that blue diamonds has made. And now green diamonds are doing that. But again, this is another trend that we identified a while back. We started mining very rare green diamonds. They're extremely difficult to get, extremely rare diamonds. And again, obviously seeing that they're selling now between $3 to $4 million a carat, this is something that we saw happening. And we started mining green and orange diamonds out of Central and South America. And we have got some of the most amazing green rough diamonds. When I mentioned that many of our clients are making 25% a year or more, these are the type of assets that I'm talking about. So again, this is another trend that's just starting to happen, that green diamonds, which are amongst the rarest in the world, diamonds that most people don't even know exist and have not paid attention to, now warrant paying a lot of attention to, because we believe these green diamonds could skyrocket in price. In actual fact, it's happening right now. So we actually buy these diamonds as they come out of the mine, rough, uncut diamonds, and then we cut and polish them, send them to GIA to be graded. And again, these are amongst the rarest diamonds in the world, and these are the diamonds now that are selling at auctions for prices that nobody ever dreamed possible. So again, Randy, this is just another tremendous opportunity, and fortunately, another major trend that we're getting involved in with our Canadian clients, where we feel our clients are going to make a fortune in those markets.
Featured Diamond of the Week, a .76 carat hard-cut fancy intense pink argyle. Find out more, speak privately, And the call is free with Harold, 1-800-432-1022, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Harold, tell us a little bit about our featured diamond, because it's a little bit bigger argyle than we normally would get, because most argyles, you've educated us, are usually about a half a carat. So we've got 0.76 carat. It's a hard cut. It's a fancy, intense pink argyle. This is just a real winner as an investment.
You bet it is. You know, we all know that the Argyle mine is an amazing mine. It was discovered in 1986 in Western Australia in the Kimberley district. And again, it was one of the most famous mines in the world because it was the largest producing diamond mine. It produced 30 million carats of diamonds a year. Now, this is extremely interesting because 30 million carats of diamonds a year is a lot of diamonds. But most of those diamonds were industrial white diamonds that are used to cut other diamonds. So they're not certainly investment quality. In fact, they're not diamonds that would be sold to a jeweler. So most of the diamonds are used in cutting apparatus to cut other diamonds. But out of this mine, and why this Argyle mine is so famous, it's famous for its pink diamonds. It produces 95% of the pink diamonds in the world. So do you realize that out of 30 million carats of diamonds that come out of the Argyle mine, when you take the whole year's production of pink diamonds and pour it into a champagne flute, it won't even fill the entire flute. You're talking about a minuscule market. You're talking about a market that is so small that pink diamonds from the Argyle mine are called the most concentrated form of wealth on earth. 95% of the pink diamonds that come out of the Argyle mine are a quarter carat or smaller. So what Randy was talking about is that featured diamond this week is one of the rarest pink diamonds that will come out of the Argyle mine because it's 3 times the size of a normal diamond that would come out of Argyle. If the average diamond is approximately a quarter carat, well, this is 3/4 of a carat, considered a very large diamond because with Argyle, what they do every year is they take 50 of their best diamonds that are over a half a carat, and those go on tour. It's called the Argyle Pink Diamond Tender. It's the biggest diamond event of the year. So these diamonds have to be over a half a carat, and they're considered very, very special. Well, the featured diamond this week is a diamond like that. First of all, the size of it is tremendous for a pink diamond. It's 3/4 of a carat. It's a 0.76. Second, the heart shape. One of my favorite cuts, and let's face it, for a pink diamond should be heart-shaped. It only makes sense. It's the diamond of love and affection, and it is absolutely beautiful. The color is extremely highly saturated. It's a fancy, intense pink, and the clarity is not so important on a pink diamond, where with yellow diamonds, you have to own a flawless yellow in order for it to be considered internally flawless, in order for it to be valuable and an investment quality diamond. In pink diamonds, most of them are flawed because what really gives it the pink color is the flaws within the diamond, believe it or not. So the fact is that at the Argyle Tender last year, 40% of the diamonds, you could see the visible flaws with your visible eye. And that would normally be a deterrent in a diamond. But those diamonds all sold for record prices. So here's what the situation is. This is a situation that will never, ever happen again in the diamond market. The Argyle mine is going to close before 2020, which is about 3.5 years from now. We anticipate that the price of certain pink diamonds from the Argyle mine will skyrocket in price, depending on the color, the size, and the cut of the diamond will determine how high that diamond will go in price. But the fact is that when this mine closes, 95% of the pink diamonds in the world will be gone. We will not see pink diamonds offered. Again, the amount of diamonds that will actually come out of mines that will be available will be minuscule. Maybe 1 or 2 every couple of years will come available for sale. So again, one of the best investments you could make at this point is to invest in an Argyle pink diamond, and the featured diamond this week is one of the best diamonds that you could possibly get. So again, this will never happen again, Randy. There is no mine in existence that produces 95% of any colored diamond. And again, once the Argyle mine closes in 2020, I think that anybody who owns an Argyle Pink will consider this the best investment that they've ever made.
Speak with Harold about this diamond, 1-800-432-1022, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, the website. You can see it under Featured Diamond of the Week. Now, let's get to something that I found this week. CNN put out, and this is due to all the diamonds that have been up for auction recently, a great, and you can see this in our free weekly newsletter. That's why I encourage you to get our newsletter from Harold. It's called A Look at Some of the World's Most Famous Diamonds. Get our newsletter from Harold. Take a look at it in our newsletter. It's from CNN. They did an outstanding job. Last week, we were waiting for the Aurora Green. This week, we're waiting for the Cullinan Dream, one of the most exquisite diamonds on Earth, extracted from the legendary Cullinan mine in South Africa. In 2014, the Cullinan Dream is the largest fancy intense blue diamond ever to be offered at auction, leading the upcoming Magnificent Jewels auction at Christie's in New York, here Thursday, June the 9th. The Cullinan Dream, 24.18 carats, is the largest fancy intense blue diamond to be offered at auction. The estimate on it, 23 to 29 million. Drawn from the Cullinan mine in South Africa, formerly known as the Premier Mine, the diamond is the largest of 4 blue diamonds cut from a 122.52 carat rough unearthed in 2014. So, Harold, we were excited about the big green, the Aurora, and we've got a very nice number for that, $16.8 million. Now we'll be waiting for auction results coming up on Thursday for the Cullinan Dream, another big blue diamond that is coming up for auction. Now, we had the Oppenheimer sell for $58 million. We've had other blue diamonds sell in the $30 million range. I would suspect this diamond is going to do very, very well at auction on Thursday. And the price actually, to me, and people will laugh when I say this, but for something that rare, though, it's very reasonably priced, Harold, I think.
Well, so do I. The thing is that most people have never, ever seen a green diamond. In fact, most people would never even think that a diamond could come in green. They would think it would look like an emerald, just like most people don't know that the rarest of all diamonds are red diamonds, because they've never seen one, and they would think that possibly it could look like a ruby. But the thing is that when you see these diamonds in person, if you ever are that fortunate to be able to see one, you know that you're holding something in your hand that is a treasure. It belongs in a museum because there's so few of them available. And the fact is that a diamond mine, will produce primarily white diamonds. And all diamonds are made up of the same compound. And they all come from the same place, deep from within the Earth's surface. They come up through a volcanic eruption, through extreme heat and pressure, and that's how a diamond is formed. But what will turn a diamond from white to green is uranium. So if there's uranium in the ground, a diamond could literally turn green. But there's still the same thing. There's still the same carbon. So basically, just because a diamond turned green, you could have a 1-carat white diamond and a 1-carat green diamond that both came from the same mine. They're both compressed carbon, come up from the same place, but because uranium seeped into the ground, that the green could be worth $3 million and the white could be worth $20,000. Just because the diamond turned color. Same with blues. Boron will turn a diamond blue. From the Cullinan mine, a white diamond and a blue diamond could be sitting side by side. The white diamond could be worth $20,000. The blue diamond could be worth $4 million. So that's what it is about colored diamonds. Colored diamonds, investment quality diamonds, never decline in value. They only go up. And basically, when I look at an investment, especially with the way the world is right now investment-wise, I look at, number one, how safe is that investment? So for me, capital preservation is the most important thing. I don't want to lose my money. But then the second thing I look at is how much can this asset appreciate in value. So capital appreciation is the second most important thing. First thing is, am I going to lose my money? And if there's a chance, I'm going to assess the risk and see what that entails. So the fact is that a rare colored diamond, an investment quality diamond, gives you both of that. They never decline in value because there's so few of them, and over time, they increase in value more than almost any other diamond. Now, blues went up from 200,000 to 4 million over a 10-year period, certain blues. Very high-end, vivid blue, famous diamonds. Not all blue diamonds went up that much, but the very famous ones did. Now, to give you an example on smaller diamonds, back in 1980, you could have bought a 1-carat fancy yellow flawless diamond for about $500 a carat. Today, they're over $20,000. So from 1980 to now, well, that's 36 years. But you've seen a diamond go from $500 to $20,000. I don't think there's too many investments that would give you that type of return with the safety that you have in the diamond market. And then also with rare colored diamonds, they're an alternative asset. They're portable private wealth. People can take them with them when they move or go someplace else. Also, they're not affected by most other things in the marketplace like stocks and other commodities are. They're just a phenomenal asset to own, and the longer you own them, the more and more valuable that they become. I know I've mentioned this many times, but my wife's girlfriend inherited from her grandmother a 5-carat pink diamond ring. Her grandmother 50 years ago bought it for $50,000, and today the diamond's worth $5 million. Again, there's very few investments that give you that type of return with the safety that you have in the diamond market. We feel that with the Argyle mine closing in less than 3.5 years, Argyle pink diamonds are probably the best investment you could make at this point, along with green diamonds, which is the next major bull market in all of diamonds. So that's the route that I'm going, Randy. I'm starting to deal heavily in green and orange diamonds, and obviously the Argyle mine, in my opinion, is a no-brainer because we'll never, ever get another situation where a mine that produces 95% of any colored diamond is ever going to be around again. So with this mine closing, it gives us a rare opportunity to make a ton of money.
Featured Diamond of the Week from rarecoloreddiamonds.com, a 0.76 carat, and this is a big diamond, 0.76 carat, hard-cut, fancy, intense pink Argyle. See it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, featured Diamond of the Week. Speak with Harold about investing in this diamond, 1-800-432-1022, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, the website. Now, as promised, and we are a little bit behind here because we had so many auction results. Last week, we had auction results. This week, we have more from Sotheby's, Magnificent Jewels, and Noble's Jewel Sale, May 17, 2016, Geneva, Switzerland. Last week, it was Christie's, May 18th. And get our free weekly newsletter because we have all the auction results in the newsletter. Lot 495, a world auction record price for any fancy, vivid pink diamond. The pear-shaped, fancy, vivid, unique pink of outstanding color, weighing 15.38 carats, mounted as a ring. And yes, the estimate on it, $27.5 million. It went for $31.5 million. Also, Lot 494, superb, fancy, vivid blue diamond ring, set with a pear-shaped, fancy, vivid blue diamond of exceptional color, weighing 7.32 carats. And the estimate on it was $14.7 million. It went for $17.1 million. Now, a few of the other diamonds I wanted to mention, and get this complete list from Harold. Connect with him, rarecoloreddiamonds.com or 1-800-432-1022. I think you'll find it fascinating. Lot 409, a fancy, intense yellow diamond ring set with a pear-shaped fancy, intense yellow diamond weighing 9.25 carats. Now, the estimate on it, $79,860, right around $80,000. It sold for $280,535 US dollars. An outstanding result. We also have, and this was another winner, This was a lot 472 fancy vivid yellow diamond ring, and it weighed approximately 11.88 carats. The estimate on it, roughly $300,000, $296,917. It sold for $1.17 million. It was an outstanding diamond that went for an amazing, amazing price. Harold, we have a complete list we'll be happy to send out to those that are interested in the list from Sotheby's Magnificent Jewels and Noble Sale, May 17, 2016. We have May 18 we can send out as well from Christie's. But the auction results were simply outstanding. I guess it was a couple of weeks ago in Geneva, Switzerland.
Just very, very pleased with them again. Diamonds at auction are doing better than almost any other asset. They're doing way better than art. And again, I think that the only market that is comparable to the diamond market at this point is the rare classic car prices, which are skyrocketing also. So again, this is the sign of the times. People have lost enough money in paper assets to realize that, again, they can't retire based on today's investment economy. There's just no way possible. 1% return in the bank, and the stock market is way too risky, and nobody's making money in retirement savings plans. Again, the longer you stay in those type of investments, the worse and worse and worse your situation is going to get. Please give us the opportunity to show you what we can do. We deal in the alternative asset market. My clients are making over 25% a year in U.S. dollars. And again, this is for my Canadian clients. So again, if you're not doing as well as us, you need to give us a call. We're in the rare diamond business. We are mining some of the most amazing green and orange diamonds. And again, our clients are doing tremendously well. So if you'd like to talk about that, learn about what's going on in our businesses, it'd be my pleasure to speak to you next week and explain to you how you could be making 25% a year or more in the markets with us also.
1-800-432-1022. The call is free. Anything discussed is confidential. 1-800-432-1022. The website, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. And as promised, with a couple of minutes left in the show here, I do want to get to the diamond-encrusted Birkin bag. It sold for a record $300,000 at auction in Hong Kong. We promised we'd mention that price. Diamond-encrusted crocodile skin Hermes bag with white gold details has broken a record for the world's most expensive ever sold at auction, bringing in $300,000 at a Hong Kong sale. You can read about that in our free weekly newsletter as well. One of the rarest watches of all time, just sold for a whopping $2.5 million. If you're looking to own a piece of history, then it's going to cost you. The latest example is the stunning Patek Philippe watch. The reference number, 2499, sold for $2.5 million at an auction in Hong Kong on May 31. After 30 minutes, Harold, 30 minutes of frantic bidding, the person picked it up for that $2.5 million. And one other item we wanted to mention, happy birthday, Marilyn Monroe. She would have been 90. Marilyn Monroe's Diamond Blancpain watch is up for auction for $80,000. And that auction is coming up November 19 and 20 in Hollywood, California, through Julian Auctions in Los Angeles. Harold, we have about 30 seconds left. It was a great week. We had the Aurora Green Diamond selling for $16.8 million.
You better believe it. And again, expect a lot more of that because, again, these big diamonds and medium-priced diamonds are setting records at auction every single week, it appears. I'd love to wish everybody a wonderful weekend and a very profitable day.
Thank you very much, Harold Siegel, for your knowledge. Connect with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. Our featured diamond of the week is a .76 carat hard-cut fancy intense pink argyle. If you have never seen an argyle pink diamond, go and take a look at Harold's website. It's like a museum online of the greatest diamonds that you can actually invest in and see this argyle hard-cut fancy intense pink diamond. It is a beauty and a big one at .76 carats. That's it. Another edition of the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall. We will talk to you next week.